Hi everyone, welcome to week 3. This week we are transitioning into talking about labor and birth and the newborn baby. If you look here at our week 3 module, you're going to see that because week 3 opened up on a Monday instead of a Sunday night this week, I am going to give you until Monday the 14th to turn in much of your work this week. So let's look at the first week objectives for week 3. So if you look here, you're going to see everything that's due. I know a lot of you are working off of your to-do list, but I also suggest that you use this chart to support that to-do list and those due dates that show up as well. So the first thing that I want to show you is our discussion this week. We're going to be talking about the birth experience by race and specifically how women of color are disproportionately impacted by maternal death rate. Your initial post, which means your post, your response to the prompt, is due Saturday this week instead of Friday because the week module opened up on a Monday instead of Sunday. So for this week only, your initial post is due Saturday 9/12 at 11:59. Your responses to your peers are due Monday 9/14 at 11:59 instead of on Sunday, again because our weeks module opened up on a Monday instead of a Sunday. So please refer to this table if you're curious about when the due dates are for your discussions. The next assignment I have this week for you is your Play, Pause It, Study lecture. So again, you're going to see a recorded lecture with embedded questions. You can take this study lecture as many times as you need to until you get the answers right. It is intended to support your learning, not to test you. It's not a quiz. It's only to help you study. And again, this is due Monday instead of Sunday because of when our module opened up. You have 2 different types of tests this week. You have your weekly chapter quiz, which you'll have every single week. So you'll have your quiz for chapter 3, which is due Monday as well. But then you're also going to have your culminating exam for chapters 1, 2, and 3. So the difference between the two, your quiz is for one chapter. You can open and close it as many times before the due date, but until you hit submit. It is not timed, but you do get one opportunity to take that quiz. Your exam, on the other hand, is a timed test. So you will have 60 minutes to answer 25 multiple choice questions. These questions are going to look familiar to you because they are questions from your chapter 1, 2, and 3 quizzes that you've taken these past 3 weeks. So my suggestion is always to take your time on your quizzes so that you are prepared for the timed exam. I also want to remind you that if you don't do well on this exam, or let's say you accidentally forget about it, I do drop your lowest scoring exam. So I don't want to see you panic. I don't want to see you freak out if you miss it or if you don't do well on it, okay? It is due Monday 9/14 at 11:59 as well. So those are your due dates and your assignments this week. I also am presenting you with an assignment that I would like you to get started this week, but is not due until Sunday the 20th at 11:59 p.m. This is your first writing assignment. So it is called your birth interview, and I'm going to go over some instructions for that in just a second. So let's go back to our module. And I'm going to bring you right here to your birth interview. So if you open it up, what this is going to be is initially you're going to interview one person about their birthing experience. This could be your own mother about your birth. It can be a sister, a best friend. You can even tell me about your own birthing experience. Once you do the interview, and I'm going to show you what questions you're going to have to respond to in a second, you're going to write these questions into a story format, which is in paragraph form. Once you create these paragraphs, then you're also going to include a paragraph comparing and contrasting the information that was provided to you in the text. So you're going to say, let's say you're interviewing a mother and her baby was 10 pounds. You're going to say, well, although this baby was 10 pounds, the book states, or the text states, that the average weight for a newborn is 7.5 pounds. So that's an example of a comparison or contrasting information. So what was the same? What was different? Okay. The final paragraph, I would like you to answer these questions. Did the person appear to have adequate and accurate information? So were they able to answer the questions with detail? Were they able to remember accurate information from when it happened? Maybe they're telling you about a 30-year-old birth, and so that can affect whether they remember everything or not. And so I want you to kind of do some critical thinking and tell me why you think they had enough information and that they had accurate information. So it has to be more than a sentence. It is a full paragraph, which is 6 to 8 sentences, explaining to me why you think this. Okay. All reports must be typed. I would like them double-spaced in Times New Roman or Arial font. I do prefer 12-point font or 14-point font. Points will be deducted if the format isn't as I've requested. If I see some grammatical errors, I typically take off 1 point per 3 errors. Same with spelling. And if I don't see questions answered, then I'll also take points off as well. If you need support with this writing, I really highly suggest the Writing Center. They're an amazing support for our students. They make online appointments where you send them your paper and then they meet with you to provide you with feedback. So that's also a wonderful resource as well. Here are your required questions. So you must respond to every single one of these. And notice that even though there's 17 questions total, there are multiple questions within each question that need a response. So please make sure that you are looking at that carefully and that you respond accordingly. Okay, so I hope that helps. So again, you're going to do the interview, and then once you've completed the interview, you're going to turn these responses into paragraphs. What I like to suggest is lump them by when these things are happening. For example, questions 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all before labor. And so you can lump this into a paragraph or two about what was happening before the labor process. Then you can lump some of the other questions into this is what was happening during labor, and then of course this is what was happening during the birth, and then this is what was happening after birth. So the questions are organized to support you in writing paragraphs, but if you need any extra support with that, I'm happy to help. Okay, so that is your birthing interview, your first assignment. You do have 2 weeks to do it, but I do suggest that you get started on it early, especially because for your discussion, you're going to have to connect what you're learning about to some of the responses that you're getting in your interview. So my hope is that you're already finding somebody to interview, asking those questions, getting some of those responses so that you can start to connect it to your discussion question this week. So I hope that helped. I also have some more videos for you this week. I know that was helpful for many students who prefer to watch videos to support their learning. So I really hope that was helpful. But other than that, that is your week and what it looks like. I really hope that you enjoy this week. It is one of my favorite weeks to lecture on, and I'm so bummed that I'm not in person with you. But I'm really excited to hear about your learning and to read your birthing interviews when they are completed. So I hope you have a great week, and please reach out if you have any more questions.